Good morning, everybody. Okay, so before I start, I just took my thermogenic, so if I slowly begin turning, like, beet red, that's why. It's not because I'm, like, getting angry or anything. Um, so, fantastic weekend. Fantastic weekend. I went to southwestern Virginia, Christiansburg, which is right outside of Blacksburg, which is where Virginia Tech is. Um, and visited my friend Holly, as you guys saw in my last video. And I also got to see Jordan after a month and a half. So it was just a really like eventful weekend. Had a great time. Had an awesome day with Jordan. Him and I are gonna make a video when he gets back in a couple weeks about that. So I'm not gonna really like talk too much about what God has done for our relationship, but basically this is just going to be about what I learned at church yesterday. I always try to make a video, especially after church, about what I got out of our sermon. So we had gone to a church called Grace Life, somewhere in the foothills of whatever mountain range that is. And I mean, it mountain towns. So that's more than likely where I'm going to end up after Jordan graduates school, out towards that way. And I can't wait. It's beautiful out there. Beautiful. I grew up in the beaches, and so for me, like, mountains are just like, it's how people from like the Midwest see the ocean. Like, to them it's wild, and to me it's just like, it's the ocean. Um, but I loved it. I mean, I loved it. But anyway, so this little church was just like nestled like down some back road, middle of nowhere, and I like that a lot. But this has been coming up a lot in my relationship. Not relationship. My walk with faith. Recently, is a lot of people are talking about how faith is greater than religion, and I know, like, now I definitely understand what that means. And every time I hear it, I kind of learn a different aspect of what they're talking about with it. um and I don't know, it's just, I think so many people are just so focused on doing Christian things that they don't focus on being a Christian. And one thing about me, and I've actually had quite a few people, I can feel thermogenic, is I've had a couple of people tell me that, especially people who don't know me, and they talk to me about this, that they're surprised that I've only been saved for the amount of time that I have, because of the way I talk about things, and because of, I guess, my viewpoints on a lot of things. And I've had a lot of people also say that they're not surprised, but they think it's cool that I haven't like fizzled out on like my faith, because so many people, they have their experience, and then, they're like, yeah, God, for like a week, and then that's it. And then it's like back to their old ways. But for me, like, I definitely had like a Paul style experience, I think. Like, I'm different. I am not Sarah from, April. April Sarah is like gone. I don't know. I just am. And it was like one thing, for instance, I was driving home yesterday from the gym, and it was the first time I'd been back with like people from here, because I'd been at Holly's house, and I hadn't heard a cuss word all weekend. And I stopped, and I was just like, you don't realize those kinds of things until like you think about it, I guess. And I like that so much. And if you guys knew me, like, I swore. I had me a mouth on me. My whole life. My whole life. Never bothered me, but it was like, these days, like, swearing and vulgarity and stuff, it honestly, like, makes me uncomfortable now. And it's funny. Like, to me, when I stop and I think about that, I'm just like, like, for real? Because I just look back at some of my older YouTube videos, and I'm like, bruh, you need to calm down, F word. Like, I mean, every other word. And that's just how I was, and it just, I don't know, just funny. But anyway, so I was changed. Sorry, I'm gonna look like I have fleas for this video, but I have to do this. And I'm gonna have a busy day, and I wanted to make this before my day got started, so don't judge me. Okay, so anyways, so at Grace Life, that was the name of the church. He talked about being busy. One of my favorite stories, I don't know very many stories of the Bible yet, but one of the ones that I really like is the story about Martha and Mary. It's in Luke chapter 10 and 11. Nope. Just chapter 10. It starts at Luke chapter 10, 38. But basically, for a rundown, Martha, Jesus comes, she's like, ooh, guys, we gotta get the house ready. So she's off doing, you know, all the things that, like, your mom does when, like, company comes over, like, vacuuming, and, no, I'm just kidding, they didn't have vacuums, but, like, you know what I mean, like, just preparing the house for Jesus. And Jesus gets there, and so she's, like, making dinner, and da-da-da-da, and she's running around, and all of a sudden she's like, where's Mary? And she looks over, and Mary's just sitting next to Jesus, like, you know, and she gets mad, because she's like, Mary, you need to help me, da-da-da-da-da. And then she's like, Jesus, you know, make Mary help me. Like, you know, like, you know, when you want your mom, you know, to make your sister do something. And Jesus, I like what he says. And he goes, Martha, Martha, which reminds me of Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. But he goes, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things. But one thing is needful, and Mary hath chosen the good part, which shall not be taken away from her. And I like that because he's basically saying, like, Martha, you need to calm down. Like, Mary knows what's up. She's listening to me. I'm obviously so full of good stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he supports the fact that Mary is sitting down, getting away from life to just be with Jesus. And there's so many times I think people are so worried about doing the things that are expected of good Christian women and men, devotionals, you know, teaching VBS, I don't know, making YouTube videos, you know, like all these like random things that so many times people get so focused on doing Christian things that they forget to be a Christian, to sit down and have that personal relationship with God. Like even this whole weekend, I mean, I was go, 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 go. I'm go, 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 go throughout the whole week. Like Americans are notorious for being busy. And one thing that they said at this, the church that I went to is that, how do they call it? They said, it's a boast disguised as a complaint, which is like, for me, I'm not boasting at all. I am lazy. If I could not get out of this bed for like 5 days, I would be cool as a cucumber. Like, but so many people do, they're like, oh, I've been so busy. Like, and they're just trying to say like they have a lot going on in their life, da 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 da. And it's just like a bragging right. And I never thought about it like that, but I was like, that's so true. And I think that so many people just busy themselves because maybe they don't really have a personal relationship with God. Like, even within my busy day, I have my commute typically from like my house to my job to my gym to whatever is typically 15 to 20 minutes both ways. And I used to spend just about every single one calling my parents or, you know, something along those lines, but excuse me. But these days I'll be driving, but I won't turn on the music, and I'll just kind of be there and just be either like talking to God or like thinking about some things or like really kind of just like what's going on in my life and really just talking to God. I mean, that's honestly all it is, you know, praying, but in a very just like friendship kind of way, not like, dear Heavenly Father, today I want to, you know, I'm just like, all right, God, here's what's on my mind, here's what's on my heart, I already know you know, but it makes me feel better actually speaking it to you, you know what I mean? I just really take the time to build this relationship that I have, and it's awesome. Like, when I first started speaking about God on YouTube, I felt awkward, and I felt like, I don't know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, go back and look, you know, but now it's just so natural because, like any friendship, you know, like Jordan just called my dad for the first time yesterday, and I can only imagine how funny that conversation was, because it's always awkward the very first time you talk to somebody, especially somebody who you know, want them to like you and respect you and stuff like that, and it's the same thing with God. Like, the first time you talk to him, you're just gonna be like, dear Heavenly Father, bless my family and Dudley, and I hope my lunch is good today. You know, like, you don't know what you're just like, but eventually I'm just like, alright, God. You know, like, you just become a lot more personable with him and a lot more comfortable with him, and that's so important. Um, that's what a relationship with God is. Like, yeah, these YouTube videos are my way to minister to people, which I've learned that that's what this is. You know, I'm sharing the gospel, I'm sharing my thoughts and my relationship with God, and this is my outlet, and I'm happy with it, and I love it. You know, but this is not what's going to get me into heaven. This is what I'm hoping, if there's one person out there who sees this, they can be like, oh, well, Sarah Von Keck can, you know, find a relationship with God. Maybe I can too. You know, because I was a heathen. Heathen. But you know, I enjoy doing this, and it doesn't boggle my, you know, it doesn't take so much time. It takes 15 minutes my day. But what's going to get me to heaven is my personal relationship with Jesus. That's what it is. Not the fact that I don't even, if anyone asks me what religion I am, I mean, technically I'm Methodist. That's what I was baptized with as a kid. But I don't claim nothing. What's my religion? Jesus. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, and one thing that I really liked, it said like the doing is just superficial. You know, like it's like materialistic people. They have all this like sweet stuff, but just because they own like a sweet chair and clothes and stuff, you know, doesn't mean that in their heart they're happy. You know, they could be empty. And that's what it, you know, doing all these things, like anyone can fake it till they make it. But I mean, just because you help out at church doesn't mean that doesn't mean anything. So it's just all superficial. So get deep. Be like Sean T. Dig deeper. Don't ever. Well, no. If you need to lose some weight, do insanity. It's crazy. You'll hate Sean T after it. Let's see. What else? What else? I don't know. That's basically most of it. Oh, I circled this and got hype about it. One thing that you can tell about yourself too, or whatever, with being a Christian is being able. Okay, so you can control your actions, but you can't control your reactions. Your reactions are who you are. And I don't remember really. Oh yeah, he was talking about how this is kind of going back to the doing. Like, it's easy to be a godly person on Sundays. Whoop whoop. You go to church, you're around that environment. But what are you doing Monday through Saturday? You know, are you walking like you should be? Are you doing what you should be? Are you out partying and doing drugs and, you know, wreaking havoc and stuff Monday through Saturday, and then on Sunday you're like, oh, I love Jesus? No. You can't do that. You can't do that and expect to have a good relationship with Jesus. That's just a fact too. You know, this is something I live Monday through Monday, Saturday through Saturday, Sunday through Sunday. It probably gets a lot stronger on Sundays because, like I said, you're around those people and you're around the environment, so you're just like, hallelujah. But me, I mean, I'm like this all week. And it feels good knowing that. You know, I have friends who claim X, Y, and, you know, say they're Christians, and then the way that they act, you're just like, okay, you know. But it's not my place to judge anyone. I accept people for who they are. But you can, you know, place yourself around the people who are Christians Sunday through Sunday. You know, that's a big thing. Be around people who support you. Be around people who love you. Be around people who respect you. So yeah. So and then, but that goes along lines with you can control your actions, but you can't control your reactions. So who you are in your heart comes out when bad things happen, or when good things happen, or when, I don't know, random things happen. And that's one thing about me. I'm not a reactive person, and I really like that. You could tell me, I mean, some bad news. I mean, like, okay, when I found out my mom had cancer, I freaked out as far as, like, crying. And I got in a car accident that day. Some dude hit me. Wasn't my fault. But that's different. But, like, you can, okay, so, like, let's say something doesn't go your way. Those reactions are ones that show who the person is. How you react to he used the reaction to a waiter. You know, you order something and the waiter messes up. Are you rude to him? Are you, how do you react to that? And those are the things that maybe you should think about this week is when something doesn't happen, or something doesn't go your way, what's in your heart? Like, how do you react to that? And that really shows who you are. I just repeated that like 3 times in a different way, so whatever. But anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up, 15 minutes. But this is something I really enjoy talking about. So if you're somebody right now and you're struggling in your faith or you don't know kind of where you stand, I mean, not that I'm like this like super like whatever person, but I'd be willing. I mean, I love talking to people. I love talking to people. Reach out to me. My email is sarahvonkeck@yahoo.com. Shoot me an email if you want. I'm not going to give out my phone number. I did that once. Terrible idea. I had to change it. Terrible idea. But, I mean, find me on Instagram. Just type, there's like 2 Sarah Von Kecks in the whole world. One doesn't look like me. You'll figure it out. Find me. Seriously. I would love that. So, anyways, I hope you guys have a blessed week. Monday, TGIM. TGIM. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, a great Monday, and make good choices, and don't be reactive in a bad way, and love everybody. All right.